What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Root. So I'm going to review a collaboration EP between BoyBandTroy and brokeNCYDE. Basically, this product is called King Shit EP and it came out in the late spring of 2023. So if you're about this product, this is a particular kind of, it's more of like a blindsided kind of offshoot of a project here as far as these pitches can happen. Definitely more low-key within the fashions behind it. Similar to how the Anarchist kind of came upon the scene in like the early 2020s pitches like that. It's kind of more within new school type, fangle type stuff, which is more within the product of like the commonplace. It is more not so much the full bounce, say internet word of mouth pitches like that, but it's kind of the ordeal that's just the aspect that is just a lot more uncommon within the aspect as far as these promotional type fairs kind of happen with it. So there's been some ones, definitely some excellent type product of getting Deuce back on the scene and pitches like that. Some vicious type appeal considering the blistering type appeal that Deuce had in the late 2000s, early 2010s. So it's some good type products because this is kind of like a pseudo Deuce project because out of the 4 songs on this EP, he's on at least half the songs, so some excellent type pitches. brokeNCYDE is on all 4 of these songs on here, so that's another good snag within these pitches as well. BoyBandTroy is an upcoming folk as far as these pitches go. Now, he might have been around earlier in the 2020s. I'm going to get around. From what I saw, like his Spotify profile pitches like that, this is the only real true product that he dropped, but he does have some singles that he put out in 2022 and 2023, so it's within the pitch. Now, they're also, like, if you remember the folk I reviewed back in the fall of 2024, the Anarchist, who did a couple songs with Deuce back in 2022 pitches like that. I've covered some of his material on this channel. It's kind of the aspect as far as saying that there's a return of the Anarchist on here, and it's an excellent type pitch, and he is on the song. He's not on a song with Deuce on here, but it is an excellent type of ordeal that he was a part of the packaging of this product as well, because it's a pretty excellent type get up, perfect score within this album pitch as far as what the score of this album is going to get. So easily recommend all 4 songs, 10 out of 10 within these products, and really not too much commonplace information much about it within these pitches kind of within the fair. There's only one true review about this product within the fair, and it just has like the typical type format of what most folks usually typically kind of think of crunkcore within these aspects, but basically like a 2023 rendition of crunkcore, some of these type aspects. BoyBandTroy translates this particular style pretty excellently within the pitch. I really feel like he probably needs to drop some albums, pitches like that. It's been a couple years since this particular product came out, so some excellent type of ordeals, but this is overall just an excellent bout of timing pitches like that, getting a good assortment of these folks, brokeNCYDE, the Anarchist, and Deuce, and some of these type pitches, all of which are particular folks that are not as super commonplace kind of, I mean, the Anarchist has been around within these times in the 2020s, but just the pitch as far as saying getting him on like some further noteworthy type stuff within the pitch of not just like kind of getting him with some killer guest features pitches like that's a good type of ordeal for the Anarchist and those type fairs. And say also within the pitch, brokeNCYDE kind of got quieter in the 2020s pitches like that, so it's kind of the ordeal getting a good snag for them as far as those ordeals going to happen. Is within the pitch, their typical kind of shrieco, screamo type stuff is on here within those pitches. That same sort of crazy type energy is definitely on here in spades. The production's really excellent on here, pitches like that. Just some Benny type noise, some Taco Bell runs, pitches like that. Some of these type ordeals, kind of like a crunkcore kind of electronic kind of fusion with trap music circa like the early mid 2020s pitches like that. So some good type ordeals, pretty trendy type stuff. Definitely some glossed out types bump for your ride pitches like that. And just overall the ordeals of this outing type fair in like in a gas type sense. Has some Dracula type conduct on here, so pretty excellent type pitch within these fairs. Just a good snare type stuff, similar to like the Anarchist 2022 album, and like brokeNCYDE from like the late 2010s pitches like that within certain senses. But BoyBandTroy does some excellent type ordeals on here as far as these pitches can happen. Now there wasn't a single within these pitches, but simple enough to say I recommend all 4 of the songs, and there's actually some pretty high esteem type popularity about this product within the ordeals about it. There is a song off this product that has at least approximately 150,000 plays on Spotify, so this did get some relative type popularity. It was at least taken seriously on Spotify, so some good type pitches despite the format. This might not actually be signed to a label or pitches like that similar. It definitely has some pretty thorough type packaging within the product of getting like some blistering type ordeals. So it's just the pitch for saying getting like a newer classic out of some giants and pitches like that, and some new type folks with Anarchist and BoyBandTroy, some of these pitches within these ordeals. So excellent type product. Just the package of this real severe. So I'm just gonna go in on these songs. Spell say King Shit's a nice one. Stands for K and the dollar sign as far as this pitch can happen. So it's within the aspect that's what King Shit stands for within these pitches. So it's like a red hot kind of pulsating electronica kind of trap fusion, kind of get within the products of it here. Just classic kind of crunkcore rage. The song is like a classic kind of crunkcore rage and evil shrouds as far as this pitch counts. So just the ordeal. This is a blistering type one. The turn up real severe on here. Deuce really shreds apart his verse on this particular songs and pitches like that, just him on his typical type fare. This one doesn't feel as much. The Deuce on this particular project feels less that he did this kind of on like his phone pitches like that. I feel like the amalgamation, like some of these type verses, not to say Deuce kind of phoned them in pitches like that, but this kind of ordeal, just questioning the budget that Deuce particularly had. This feels like the get up of this feels a little bit more like the Deuce from like 2010, 2014, some of those type vibes where he had a little bit more particular kind of a gas type where he helps out with some of the hooks and things like that on here, or at least some bridges, some of those type formats. He kind of does some sing-songy type stuff. He kind of does that on King Shit, and he does that on Bury Me Tonight, some of those type ordeals. So it's kind of, I feel like within a certain type sense, there's folks that kind of feel maybe mixed vibes about how Deuce kind of came back on the scene in 2022 and 2023 is kind of the pitch as far as saying this is some further type products. I definitely feel like some of these type of songs are like a fresh new rendition of like songs from like the early 2010s days by Deuce, like Help Me and America and some of those type ones, and Nobody Likes Me, some of these type pitches and other type formats within that viciousness and let's get it cracking, some of those type ones. Just that particular blistering type ordeal is kind of the pitch that this doesn't have the official label backing. That's the only real thing. It's just the product as far as saying this not getting the radio promotion, whether or not that this had that radio type ordeal. It's just kind of the fashion that Deuce kind of went on a hiatus in 2017, 2018, pitches like that after like the Invincible album and then the Nightmare EP. So it's kind of the pitch as far as saying that him not putting out, and really I think it's probably, it didn't seem like, I don't know where Deuce went after 2018, like the spring of 2018 was kind of the pitch as far as saying that just the fair. I just question how many verses he did between like the summer of 2018 to about like the summer of 2022. I mean, he took like a good 3, 4, 5 years off, similar to like an Eminem kind of hiatus that he went on back in the 2000s. So it's just kind of pitch as far as saying, I just question if he did any verses whatsoever around that particular time. But some excellent type pitches getting like a resurgence of Deuce on some of these type fairs, pitches like that. It's some vicious type ordeals. BoyBandTroy and brokeNCYDE make an excellent type combination on here. Just real pulsating, just real shrieco pitches like that. The ordeals behind it. brokeNCYDE gets their Shriko kind of craziness, and BoyBandTroy has some good stuff on here, having like some good, he can handle his bars within these aspects, so some good type products. These folks do spit on here, both the Anarchist and BoyBandTroy, despite the fact that the Anarchist is only really on one song. There's some ones on here like OD is definitely a good example of that, and King Shit is a good example of that as well. So some good type fairs. These folks on this EP, BoyBandTroy and brokeNCYDE, have a pretty good mastery of like the delivery of the flows as far as those pitches can happen, even if it's not like the full bound kind of Nas and like Benny the Butcher type lyricism pitches like that. Some of those Griselda type folks kind of the pitch as far as saying it's not like it's bad in the sense within the products. It's kind of the fair that they have a good aesthetic to make like the snap to these songs that make them kind of have that bite, despite the fact that it's not. The packaging just feels like a bucket of piranhas as far as those pitches can happen, just with the aspect like the viciousness. So it does have the snap about it. It's just kind of ordeal. It's just more within like the contemporary type fashion when you think of things within that product, just similar type crunch to how crunkcore normally kind of is. So it's just the pitch as far as saying. So it's going to be the usual style versus substance type flair that goes along with it within the aspect of lyricism versus whatever, just the pitch. But I don't think, I wouldn't say that this is not lyricism. It's just kind of pitch as far as saying it's just kind of product that crunkcore tends to get a bad rep within some of that products. So this is the ordeal, but this is vicious type stuff here. The magnitude, the emphasis of the vocals and pitches like that hit pretty heavily, like I was saying, so good type ordeals. Bury Me Tonight's a nice one within these ordeals. This has a real swarming type beat. This like a morose and swamp kind of crunkcore head trip to kind of get within the products of it here. Just a woozy kind of midday passage, I'd say, to some Benny soaks as far as those pitch can happen. So dismiss the ordeal out of an extra type noise kind of get within those products. Definitely King Shit has those particular vibes, but I'd also say Bury Me Tonight's like a good nice one to kind of marinate in a booth, some pitches like that. Some type of ordeals, just appreciating the product like the Night Flare pitches like that. Easy kind of demon time embrace, but just kind of amongst the product having like a just an enjoyable kind of head trip on those type products, like a crunkcore type sense. This Bury Me Tonight very much reminds of something kind of within that swirl type sense to something that Ouija Mac and some of those more demonic type folk will kind of do in like a juggalo type sense. It's pretty close to that within the neighboring community, but it does in like a crunkcore type sense. So it's good type ordeals, is what I have to say. OD is a nice one on here, and Bury Me Tonight does have Deuce on here. Like I said, all the packaging of all three of these folks, BoyBandTroy, brokeNCYDE, and Deuce, really shreds pretty hard. Deuce does like some bridge and extra vocals type work with like helping out with hooks and some of those type sing-song stuff that he does. He's pretty good just having like that particular aspect of having good compositions about these, just typical Deuce, and then brokeNCYDE does their screamo type stuff definitely, and BoyBandTroy handles raps on here as far as those pitch counts. So it just has a good composition, real nasty type, just monster mash kind of party pitches like that, good type ordeals. OD is OD is a nice one. This has the Anarchist on here. He probably should have been on here at least one more time, but it's a good type snag. Kind of get this type ordeal pitches like that. Some good products. It's like a creeping kind of night swirl to kind of get here within the aspects of it. Just some trap polish, I would definitely say. Just a mid-pace kind of commute and Taco Bell run. So it's like a good mid-pace kind of commute and Taco Bell run pitches like that as far as those ordeals kind of having. Just kind of some drifting, I'd say, about this song. Good song to floss out to within those products. So just that typical type flare that you would have gotten out of 2010s trap zones type pitches, similar to Lil Baby, similar to Future, some of these type folks, similar to like that particular snap about it. It's kind of typical type fashion, like some contemporary typical type fashion, some contemporary type gliss as far as this pitch can have. But dismiss the ordeal. It's kind of in a more gas type sense, just the product of like that more haunting typeness, just more ground level pitches like that. Both OD and No Going Back are kind of more just Taco Bell run commerce type pitches within those products. It's kind of more ground level type music in terms of like some vanilla kind of commerce pitches like that within those ordeals. So good type product for that relative type fares. It's kind of pitch as far as saying like aspect as far as getting towards some of these. They have some good candidness about them. It's just kind of pitch where it is floss type music, but it's just where the aspect where it's not as decked out. It's just a little bit plainer within like the ordeal, how the happenings kind of happen, where some of these could be for more mundane task pitches like that as far as those aspects kind of happen. It's just a good type product. This definitely reminds like early 2010s mixtape type fare pitches like that out of the Dat Pit Pharaohs type product. So kind of a swirl. This one's more trap, more so than crunkcore within these aspects, with some good type products of it. And then No Going Back's a nice one. Now this only has BoyBandTroy and brokeNCYDE on here, but it's excellent type pitches. Some of these type ones the brokeNCYDE members do rap upon within these pitches as far as these formats going to happen. I'm not sure as to how many full bound members from brokeNCYDE are on here. I don't know if Fat J or Ants or some of these type folks within particular as to which particular ones, or Seven, some of these type folks. I'm not really sure as to which one. I know Seven for a little while, or some of these. There's a couple of these folks that kind of were not on every single brokeNCYDE album within the pitch, so it's kind of the fair. Really, like I said, the complex information about this product is not as spectacular with the aspect of really knowing much about it. It's kind of more of a mysterious type product within the aspect behind it, so it's kind of the tone. I know at least brokeNCYDE's on here. There's some members that are on here, but in terms of the designation, it's just less so within those pitches. But yeah, No Going Back's a nice one. It's like a tittering and sparkled kind of vampire trap to kind of get within the aspects of it. It's very haunting and a gas. Definitely some demon time kind of get around pitches like that. I'd say just good for some snackage. Some of the stuff runs within it. Just excellent song to get torched to pitches like that. So just get the smokage fair in your system. Some of the stuff aspects is picking up like a burrito or something like that, a croissant. Some of the stuff aspects within like good type fair, easy kind of checks mix run. Some of the stuff aspects get a great Fanta, something like that within those pitches within the aspects. So this kind of particular product. Some of these, the aspect behind a couple of these, I do like the particular tone and just having like some in-between type moments, like the fair, just like simple kind of traffic and pitches like that, or just like the commute disc going within the goings around pitches like that, some of those type of ordeals. Some venue type noise on here, half venue, half kind of more commerce pitches like that. So the Taco Bell runs on some of these type of songs, and then you get the other type of songs like venue kind of craze and snarl. But most of these songs, particularly, I would pretty much say on all of these, like brokeNCYDE snarls within like the screamo type senses. This excellent type energy, the same sort of ravenous type stuff. So being a fan of crunkcore, being appreciative with crunkcore is the same type of aspect. You'll get that vicious kind of assortment on here, pitches like that. So definitely has like the ravenous bite as far as those fairs kind of happens. So this excellent type of word. So this excellent packaging. It's a real stylish type one. Definitely a bona fide type product. Definitely needed to happen within these pitches. Just an amalgamation of a good setting of folks getting a new Jack kind of BoyBandTroy on here who handles this ordeal and really blisters on this project. brokeNCYDE and like their prime of doing the Shriko type stuff that really works pretty heavily with that ravenous kind of crunkcore energy is definitely pretty blistering. Getting Deuce and like some return to form as far as these aspects going to happen. Getting him back on his sing-songy kind of sarcasm pitches like that, and some of that kind of leery typeness and a gasness that he's known for, and then getting like a good snag and cameo from the Anarchist, which definitely needs to happen more often with more products from other folks as far as this pitch kind of goes. Excellent type product. 10 score. I'd say the social score, because this is more of an underground type product, I'm just going to give the social score a 10 out of 10. I realize within the aspect, the ordeal behind the notoriety of this product is less severe within the pitch behind it, but it's not to say it's bad. It's just kind of pitch. It just seems less common that folks are going to know about it within the full bound type sense. You kind of have to hunt around for it a little bit, have to kind of do some searching within the aspects. It's not really as much super commonplace that this is really recognized within the ordeals. And it's just kind of the pitch as far as saying, like I said, like particularly, this is more or less like BoyBandTroy's only true project after 2.5 years. So it's this kind of pitch as far as saying within those aspects kind of tone. He does need to put out more products pitches like that, but this is a good overall snag. Some of those at first. So just some excellent timing pitches like that. So 10 social. You get, like I was saying, you get like some venue kind of fast food runs pitches like I was saying, you get some floss type songs and venue like I was saying, you get some floss type songs and vanilla kind of fast food runs, pitches like that as far as those ordeals can happen. Then you get some venue kind of craze with like typical kind of brokeNCYDE and crunkcore type craziness. So good type aspects of 10 social. In terms of the future, like that's the aspects as far as saying not as full bound. Sure, I don't know if I was trying to just talk about the terms of future like a few moments ago, but just say in terms of future, like BoyBandTroy, like I said, he has not really put out any further type products. Deuce is kind of a mystery nowadays. The Anarchist is at least around pitches like that. He's dropped some further type ones I need to get to in brokeNCYDE. I think they've dropped some new type products pitches like that. It's kind of the ordeal, but this is definitely a good secret type product from them within those aspects that carries their continued viciousness. So very glad that they didn't just phone this in. They actually, considering that they actually have a label and pitches like that, some good type ordeals that they decided to fuck with some of these type fairs and get like some secret kind of heat here. So it's excellent type ordeals. But yeah, blistering type packaging of project, very vicious within these ordeals. Real bite-sized type goodie that has a lot of good flair and overall bite about it.